So I know I have talked about Brian Koberger a lot, not as much as so many other people, but so much time has gone into researching this case, and then for them to just end it like that with a plea deal feels like we were robbed of the actual truth, and we were. 2.5 years of notes, of research, of YouTubers coming together, arguing, having their lives put at risk, talking about this and the things that are involved in it, and then we don't even get a trial to see if, like, to compare notes. I saw, if I can remember who it was, I'll link the video, but it was on autoplay. And it came up and it was talking about, it was Steve Gonsalves, and he was speaking about the leaked footage. I don't know what news. It was the interview with Ashley Banfield on News Nation. Now I don't know what day, or I know it was like 9 p.m. He said, "I know for a fact the path that white cilantro," and then it cuts to the grub truck, and the guy behind, I think his name's Joe, the cashier. I was like, is that a secret move I don't know about? When this girl with long blonde hair asks for cilantro, she says, "I just really love cilantro." And then, when Brian was arrested, Steve Gonsalves was like, you really just, we thought it would be somebody we know, somebody we trust. That's who it typically is in cases like that. He said that. Somebody you know, somebody you trust. Steve G, when Brian was arrested. I think that Steve was convinced. After a while, he was dissociated and he needed an answer. But you can tell he doesn't believe it until about this year. Then he started really pushing the narrative with prosecution. Um, yeah, I mean, like, I had all these questions. If BK were a woman, would he still be sitting in jail? Casey Anthony, Lori, I can't say what I wrote, but Lori Vallow. How long did Ruby Frankie go to jail for? What is the sentence for Lori Vallow? Found guilty April 2025. She's in there for life. But we had proof of what she did wrong. We don't have any proof of this. We needed a trial. We were robbed in our life.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Jenny, and today I'm just going to share videos I've already created and shared before, but I'm also going to share some screen recordings and screenshots on the Idaho case. These I feel are important. The things that were said in the very beginning are important, I believe. Just wanted to make a few long form videos to kind of mash up all my short form content on Idaho. So anyway, I hope you enjoy. It feels weird saying that, but I hope that you find this information helpful. I'll try and share more like this over the next few weeks, and we got to get to the bottom of this. I hope you guys find this information helpful or useful. Screenshot, screen record, whatever you want. It is free to use. There is a copyright disclaimer I will add, because it is okay to use other people's content, just not, make it yours. You cannot claim that it's your content, but I don't care if you claim whatever I have, but I don't get paid on YouTube. I just do this because the word needs to get out. I also just like to talk and create and research. So I figured a couple of years ago, why not just make videos? Because, I'm learning all the stuff I can share. But for the past few years, I've been sunk into this Idaho case, and I really want to not be so focused on it, but it's hard when you see the corruption in front of your face. And then you talk to people in your life and they're like, yeah, there's corruption everywhere. But you don't understand. This is bad corruption. Like it could trickle down to us, to like, if every prosecutor was like Bill Thompson, we'd be fucked. So it is a big deal, and we need to get justice. We need to get answers. We need the truth. We need to make sure we have transparency with every single court case, every single one, from the little ones to the big ones. Transparency is the only way to get to the truth. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox and show you this content that I have and let me know what you think. And if you like this, give the video a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more of me.
Posted this November 13th, 2022 at 3:33 a.m. Her roommates were most likely no longer alive. And look where she's standing. And look what she's doing. I thought this was pretty interesting. Bailey's words, I'm a you in the middle of the night. My words, oh my God. And that was January 8th, 2011. And then she did this picture. I think that's, I don't know who that is with Kaylee. But yeah, that was a few months later in Coeur d'Alene, where they grew up. Is that Emma Bailey? Remember when I told you that I heard what sounded like someone being chased, and then it sounded, or you can see somebody being chased in the other Linda Lane footage? Interesting, huh? Who is this dude? You can hear either Charlie or Farley being yelled on the Linda Lane footage. Look at Dylan looking at Kaylee down there at the bottom. So if you still believe that the person that they have accused of this crime is actually the person who committed this crime, please, please, please do some more research into the people that were actually in these students' lives, because Brian Koberger was not in their lives, but a lot of really sketchy, creepy people were. Dealers, yeah, we'll just say that.
So last night or yesterday afternoon, Truth and Transparency, Lana, went live and called the Idaho Humane Society in Moscow, Moscow, Idaho. Oh my gosh, Freudian slip. So, because we learned, we heard a 911 call from November 14th, I believe, or the 13th. Do not quote me on that. I'm not exactly sure on the exact date. The girl from the Humane Society calls 911 and she says, this dog was stolen and y'all are the only ones with the key. Did someone come and get the dog? Whoever's on the phone says, can I put you on hold? Puts her on hold, asks everybody. Everyone's like, I didn't get the dog. I didn't get the dog. I didn't get the dog. She comes back and she's like, okay, well, we'll check with Pullman. We'll see if maybe they got the dog. Puts her, sends her over there and she's still on the line. Like it's a 3-way call now. And Pullman at PD says, no, we didn't get the dog. And, so they hang up and Humane Society continues talking with MPD, Moscow Police Department. And they're like, don't worry, it's fine. And she's like, no, this dog is gone. And I don't understand. It was in a cage with a padlock, and the only people with the keys are you. So if you didn't take the dog and Pullman didn't take the dog, where's the dog? She works with the Humane Society. She's worried about the animals she's taking care of. So she says, the last time I saw the dog was at 4 p.m. And it was around 6 p.m. when she called. And okay, Mr. Rosendahl, how did you do that? How did you get the paperwork and the dog without anybody noticing? How did you do that? It makes me think you're so sneaky enough to sneak into someone's house in the middle of the night and, you know, your ego is so huge. I'm surprised you're not in space. Inflated. Oh my God. Full of helium too, because dumb as rocks. he made a document finally on January 29th, 2023, saying, yeah, I went and got the dog. Did you forge a signature from the Humane Society saying that you did actually pick up the dog? So, they don't even follow their own laws.
I always thought it was Jack Decor that made this phone call. I don't believe that it is Jack Decor that made the phone call. Again, I don't know. I have no idea why Jack Decor would be calling from the 2300 block of. I mean, that's literally where this Latah County Sheriff's Office person lived. Just another, but it's at the same time frame the dog goes missing. You can't make this shit up. Now, like looking back at all of this stuff, this is when the dog was, remember the female who worked there called the police, right? And was like, did you guys come pick up the dog? It's not her that was calling. I mean, unless she's calling about the dog because that Humane Society is right there and they're treating it as a 2300 block. I don't know.
I think she's got 3 videos now in the last 48 hours of these old clips.
They also confirmed the victims were the only ones in the house when the bodies were found. 2 other roommates, though, were home at the time. Police say they were not hurt. They also believe there was no forced entry into the home. They gave more details about the scene just yesterday.
We're not 100% sure if the door was unlocked, but there was no damage to anything, and the door was still open when we got there.
I understand we're hanging on every word at this point. We really are. But to say the door was still open when we got there seems like an odd way to describe the 911 body cam footage when they showed up, in my opinion. Again, I'm acknowledging I could be hanging on every word way too much, but I don't know if I would say the door was still open when we got there. I would probably say there was a group of students waiting outside of the house for us when we arrived that pointed us to where the bodies were located. It just seems like a weird way. Yeah, so, Cats or Bomb says the door was open when the cops got there. Technically, it was. Because Hunter and everybody, on Gunderson's body cam was standing around the door. This paper, this was written by a Christopher Stern on December 12th of 2022. So this is obviously pre-Brian Koberger's arrest. So it says 4 Idaho University students were murdered. This case will likely be the leading one. Did you know that 2 of the victims were young girls? You want to find their names? Did you hear rumors that Dylan Mortensen had a boyfriend? The complete article will provide all the details. Students who are members of the United States Moscow are affected by the incident. We did extensive research and found some information about Dylan Mortensen's boyfriend on Reddit. Now, again, this is all outside of the U.S. So who's Dylan Mortensen's boyfriend? Bethany Funk and Dylan Mortensen were the 2 girls who survived the quadruple attack on Idaho, Moscow. Ethan Chapin, Xander Kernodle were the victims, as well as Kaylee Goncalves and Madison Mogan. These 4 were stabbed to death at midnight on November 13th of 2022. According to their statement, the girls had hidden in the basement during the murders. Quinn Kelly was Dylan Mortensen's boyfriend and called 911 to report the incident. On his appearance at the spot, comments are being posted on Reddit and Instagram. There are just a few personal details we found in our search. The public is curious to know why Quinn was there at the time of the attack and how he knew about the attack in order to inform police. Many netizens searched Quinn Kelly's TikTok account for Dylan Mortensen's boyfriend to get to know him. Quinn Kelly called 911 to help after the attack, but he informed police 8 hours later. According to the police, the person who gave the information was not involved in the case. Many later questioned how police could give such a clear statement and not proceed further. We found some of Quinn Kelly's parents' criminal records in our search. We have not been able to find any information on Quinn Kelly's mother, as we mentioned previously. However, Jeremy Kelly, his father, he has a criminal record and has been arrested multiple times. What's the latest about Jeremy Kelly? Multiple times, Jeremy Kelly was arrested in Idaho. He was sentenced to prison last year for obscenity.
Yeah, the only thing, there was a knife on the floor, right, immediately when I walked in.
So explain to me.
Which, I mean, like, that could be normal, but you walk in, you go up the stairs right here, and then it's the living room. You go down this hallway and it's Anna's room. There was a knife right there on the floor.
Like in front of their room?
In front of, just at the top of the stairs.
Top of the stairs.
Which I don't know why there would be.
What kind of knife? Can you remember?
Like a steak knife.
Okay.
Can I cancel this?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, that'd be good. Out here too? I haven't seen any out here. That was grabbed by the dude from the end, but there's some signs of some stuff around. Head up. Through on the left.